Jó napot kívánok, hogy vagy? Oh, goodness gracious. Here it is. I don't even know what time it is. I think it's 9 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something like that. And I woke up probably the better part of, as I adjust the camera there, I woke up probably the better part of 4 o'clock and tossed and turned and then just kind of was still dark out and just had a hard time getting myself motivated to get out of bed, and you ended up crawling out of bed at about 5:30, something like that. And I've been sitting here working ever since. And I gotta tell you, I wasn't gonna do a video today. That's why my video is so late today. I wasn't gonna do a video today because I've been feeling a little bit funky, uh, and it's kind of strange, and I'm trying to sort it out. But I wasn't going to do the video. Usually when you do a video, such as these vlogs, you want to be upbeat and positive and happy, and tell the world how wonderful your life is, and all the good things that are happening to you and all that type of stuff. But fact of the matter is, and Skip Smith will tell you this, I'm sure. There's days where you just you're feeling in a funk, and you just don't want to get in front of a camera. But then again, you kind of go back to finish what you start, and stay committed, and what have you. And it was that kind of thought that motivated me to turn on the camera and do this video. But yesterday I did that video, my morning thought video, and I was for those of you that follow me every day, you'll probably notice that I was really upbeat and excited and happy, and what have you. And then I went on my bike ride, and I was still upbeat. I took a bad fall yesterday. After I finished that last segment of that video, boy, did I take a bad fall. And I was riding along. I didn't have the camera in my hand or anything like that. I was just riding along, and my tires went off the my tire went off the asphalt and into some gravel. And boy, when that happens, all bets are off, because it was just the better part of 2 inches of gravel, and I bit it pretty hard yesterday. But there was this gentleman riding by on his bike, and he had come by a little bit, just a moment or two before I fell, and he said good morning to me, and off he rode. And as I took that fall, um, it wasn't but a few moments before he came back, and I guess he had seen me in his mirror. But anyway, asked me if I was okay, and what have you. And I worked my way up. But boy, that was a bad bad fall. But anyway, maybe that's what put me in the funk, that I was feeling. And it's kind of a strange, to 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 try to share the thoughts of feeling the funk. It's like when when I am feeling my best is when I'm being really productive. Oftentimes when I'm feeling really productive, if I'm creating stuff, if I'm programming stuff, and learning new stuff and all that kind of stuff, um, that's when I feel the best. And when I'm away from a computer, oftentimes, if I'm away from the computer and away from the stroking the keys, and the creativity, the creative aspect of what I do, then it's easy to feel a little bit funky, if you would. I don't know the word funky. I don't know, down, down, bummed out, what have you. But so then that always poses a challenge. And then the other thing is when you're dealing with problems, when you're dealing with problems such as I've been dealing with. Oh, good. But see, I can still smile even when I'm feeling a little bit down. But when you're dealing with problems, that are taking away from your ability to uh, tap into your creative, side, when you're just, your time is being taken up, with dealing with problems and what have you, then that's another, that's a whole other thing. Remember the dentist that I exchanged the services for? What a mistake that was. This woman, I love her to death. I mean, she's a nice enough woman. I love her to death, but she's under a tremendous amount of stress. Opening up a new business, investing all that money in a competitive market and stuff, and she's into so much. She's got so much stress, and oftentimes, people that have a lot of stress, they look for outlets. They look for ways. It's like the steam kettle. It's boiling, 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 and then off goes the top. And when people are dealing with stress, oftentimes they're looking for punching bags or outlets or whatever. And I learned a long time ago that I don't I am nobody's I'm nobody's punching bag when it comes to their stress relief. But anyway, dealing with her and just all that kind of stuff. But the thing that's really one of the things that's really challenging is I've been on the road new 2, 3, 4, 5 months, something like that. I knew what I was getting into, but still, there are times when you're traveling for an extended period of time that you miss, and you just want the comforts of home. You want the normalcies of your day-to-day routines and your whoops, sorry about that. You want the normalcy. The phone dropped off of the counter, but you want the normalcies of home. You want your own bed, you want your shower, you want your big refrigerator. You want all that normal stuff. You want your car, to be able to drive down to Costco, and you want to be able to go to the jacuzzi and all that stuff. And when you realize, you go onto Google Maps and you type in your home address, and then you hit get directions, and it says from your location, and it shows you, like, even if you wanted to go home, then you're like, 36 hours or 38 hours driving, and you think 38 hours, oh my god, that's like 4 days. That's like 4 days of driving, and no productivity, no anything. But anyway, if it sounds like I'm babbling, it probably it probably is. But this is what comes with traveling. When you've been traveling for a way through it, you work your way through it, because you realize that, it's all about perspective. You realize that there are uh, untold, countless people, that would give their left arm to be where I'm at right now, doing what I'm doing, and what have you. So, you just kind of work through. You take the good with the bad, and you work through. The weather hasn't really helped. Yesterday we got storms coming through here, and it was just kind of overcast, and it dropped the temperature down into the low 60s, and that's the first time in or I've seen overcast. First time in quite some time. Actually, when I was in Monterey, you had the coastal fog, but that was different. But anyway, I'll work through it. And then there is the indecision as to which way I go. Part of me just wants to hightail it back to Ohio, put my camper and my truck in one of my clients' yards, their storage thing, catch a short 2 hour flight down to, Florida, hang out in Florida for 2 or 3 weeks, even a month, and then go back up and pick up my camper and do the whole New England thing, after a nice rest. Part of me wants to do that. And then part of me says, if I do that, then I'll regret not having gone to Idaho and to Sun Valley and what have you. Last night I was playing around searching for Sun Valley campgrounds and what have you, camping in Sun Valley and what have you. And there's some beautiful, beautiful spots. There's no shortage of places to camp up in Sun Valley. So anyway, that's it. Yeah, I just maybe I just need a little bit of sunshine and change of scenery that'll bring me out of the bring me out of the funk. The other thing is, I alluded to this the other day, and you get lonely. You get lonely. It's all well and good, having the freedom and traveling and all that type of stuff, but when you don't have somebody to share it with, it's not as enjoyable. Last year when I was traveling around with Yanae, uh, for the most part, and with the year before that with Mercedes, it was really, really enjoyable. And that's not to say that now is not enjoyable, but it's more enjoyable when you're sharing it with somebody you like, somebody that you enjoy being with. But anyway, the other thing on my mind was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was staying with a gentleman in Fresno named Robert, and I thought, to be quite honest with you, when I pulled out of Robert's place, I thought I'd have to drive far and wide to find somebody as nice as nice as Robert. But I gotta tell you, this gentleman Ken, when it comes to nice guys, this guy takes the cake. He's not. They don't make him any nicer than this guy. What a wonderful, wonderful man. Um, we went for a drive last night, just to get out of the house and go see some scenery and what have you. And the more time that I spend with him, the more I realize just how genuinely nice of a person he is. It's just absolutely amazing. So I've been really fortunate in that regard, to meet and have the opportunity to stay with and visit some really, really special people. But anyway, that's about it for my thoughts. So right now I'm going to go and get on my bike, go for a bike ride. The Federal Express is going to bring some fans for my refrigerator, and maybe it's wishful thinking and it's a hope and a prayer that putting some exhaust fans behind the refrigerator to circulate the air or move the air. Maybe it's a hope and a prayer that that's going to fix my problem. Because the refrigerator worked for the better part of several weeks. With the configuration, where it's such as it is, and to think that just all of a sudden, it goes bad because there's not enough circulation. It's just wishful thinking, but maybe we'll get lucky, and maybe putting the fans in behind the refrigerator to move the air around. Maybe that'll make it work a little bit better. Anyway, that's about it. So hope everybody out there has a great day. Okay, take care, and don't feel sorry. Don't worry about me as far as feeling funky or whatever. I've worked through this before, and I'm sure now will be no different. So take good care. Have a great day.